Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the demolitions in Old City. Old City Hyderabad, renowned for its rich history and cultural heritage, is undergoing significant changes. Recent developments have led to the demolition of several structures, including notable landmarks as part of urban development and infrastructure projects. This video provides an overview of the current situation in Old City. The allure of the Old City. Historic architecture. When you wander through the Old City, you're practically walking through history books. The majestic Charminar, as its iconic hut, is a testament to the Qutb Shahi dynasty's grandeur. But beyond that, you find a labyrinth of narrow lanes lined with structure that whispers tale of bygone eras. Think of the intricate work on old Havelis, imposing gateways, and a distinct Indo-Islamic architectural style that blends Persian, Pathan, and local influences. These aren't just buildings. They're tangible links to Hyderabad's rich cultural heritage. Bustling markets. The markets of the old city are an assault on the senses in the most vibrant way possible. Large bazaar with its dazzling array of bangles, Patar Gatti, renowned for its pearls and jewelry, and the aromatic spice markets. They're not just places to shop, they're social hubs where generations of vendors and customers have interacted. The energy is palpable. The haggling is part of the experience, and you can find everything from traditionally Hyderabadi attire and handicrafts to everyday necessities. These markets are economic lifeblood of many communities. Traditional establishments. Beyond the landmarks and the markets, the old city is home to countless traditional businesses that have stood the test of time. Think of the Irani chai cafes where conservations flow freely as the sweet, milky tea, the age-old attar, which is the perfumery shops with the intoxicating scents, and the biryani joints whose recipes have been perfected over decades. These establishments aren't just about commerce, they are cultural institutions preserving culinary traditions, craftsmanship, and a unique way of life. The past pressing challenges. Aging infrastructure. The very antiquity that lends the old city its charm also presents significant challenges. Decades of use without comprehensive upgrades have left the infrastructure strained. We are talking about narrow, congested roads struggling to accommodate modern traffic, outdated drainage and sewage systems prone to overflowing and aging water and electricity lines that frequently malfunction. This not only impacts the daily lives of residents but also hinders economic growth and poses health and safety risks. The need for modernization. As Hyderabad evolves into a modern metropolis, the old city risks being left behind as if it doesn't adapt. The the need of better amenities, improved sanitization, efficient transportation, and updated commercial spaces is becoming increasingly pressing. Younger generations may seek opportunities and lifestyles that the current infrastructure struggles to provide, leading to a potential drift away from the core of the cities. The demolitions, dives, and part forward. Addressing unauthorized and dilapidated structures. The GHMC's demolition drives are a direct response to the challenges posed by aging and often illegally constructed buildings. Dilapidated structures pose a safety hazard to residents, and unauthorized constructions can strain existing infrastructure and hinder planned development. These drives are intended to clear the way for necessary upgrades and new infrastructure projects, paving the way for new developments. The goal behind these actions is to modernize the old city while hopefully preserving its unique character. New developments could include wider roads, better drainage systems, modern commercial complexes, and improved housing. Their intention is to create a more livable and economically vibrant environment for the residents. Recent demolition activities. It appears that there have been significant demolition activities in the old city of Hyderabad between March and May 2025, carried out by the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Cooperation and the Hyderabad Disaster Response and Asset Protection Agency. Key demolition activities March to May 2025. Akbar Nagar. Early May 2025. A large-scale demolition drive is getting unauthorized shops led to high tension and clashes between locals and the police. Residents attempted to block the demolition, and several protesters, including AIMIM cooperators, who criticized the action as a targeted operation, were detained. The demolition was temporarily halted, but expected to resume with continued security. Hafiz Baba Nagar, early May 2025. Hydra teams conducted a demolition drive against alleged encroachments, leading to protest from residents who claimed they were not serviced prior notice and that their livelihoods were being unfairly taken away. Police reportedly used lathi changes to disperse the protesting crowd. Madana Pet, February 2025. But relevant as it falls to close to the time frame. The GHMC carried out a demolition drive against encroachments in Madana Pet with police assistance. This was part of a broader Operation Rope, removal of obstructive parking and encroachments, aimed at reclaiming pedestrian spaces across Hyderabad. Ayyappa Society, January 2025, but relevant due to ongoing efforts. While slightly outside the March-May window, Hydra continued its crackdown on illegal constructions in Ayyappa Society, demolishing a 7-story building constructed without proper GHMC approvals, following High Court directives. Officially, it is stated that nearly all the constructions in the area were illegal. Reasons of the demolitions. Removal of unauthorized structures. A primary focus has been on removing buildings and shops constructed without proper permissions or encroaching on public land. Addressing dilapidated buildings. The GHMC has been demolishing and identifying old and unsafe structures, especially with the approaching monsoon seasons, to prevent potential accidents. Infrastructure development. Some demolitions are likely related to clearing the way of new infrastructure projects, such as the Hyderabad Metro Phase 2. Enforcement of urban planning laws. Authorities are aiming to enforce building regulations and ensure compliance with city planning rules. Reactions and aftermath. Local protestants and residents. Many demolition drives have been met with strong resistance from affected residents and shop owners who claim lack of notice and unfair treatment. Political opposition. AIMIM leaders and local representatives have often criticized these drives, alleging that they are targeted or insensitive to the needs of local population. Focus on compensation and rehabilitation. Questions have been raised regarding compensation for those affected and the rehabilitation plans for displaced individuals and businesses. It's important to note that these demolition drives activities are sensitive issue in the old city, balancing the need of modernization and safety with the concerns about residents about displacement and the preservation of their way of life. This situation is dynamic and further developments are likely as the authorities continue their efforts. Simultaneously, the Hyderabad Metro Rail Limited is progressing with the phase 2 of the metro project, particularly 7.5 stretch from MGBS to Chandra and Gutta. It necessitates the demolition of properties, including some heritage structures. Impact on notable establishments. As demolition and redevelopment continue in Old City, Hyderabad, the impacts are felt by most visibly along the MGBS to Chandra and Gutta metro stretch, a 7.5 kilometer under phase 2 of the Hyderabad metro expansion. Many prominent businesses, landmarks, and public venues, some standing for decades, are now being cleared to make way for the future. One of the most talked about losses is Pista House, the legendary Hyderabadi Halim and Bakery plant. Its flagship outlet near Charminar is amongst the structures slated for demolition. Locals are deeply upset, not only because of the brand's legacy, but because it has become part of the identity of the old city. Also impacted is Meena Plaza at Pattargatti, a well-known shopping complex that has already been brought down. Nearby Akbar Function Hall, once a bustling venue for weddings and public gatherings, has been razed. A familiar sight to many, its demolition was met with visible emotions from residents. Other affected locations include Swagat Hotel, Shabbar Cafe, Lily Rose School, and several other small businesses that had long served the area. Some of these buildings were not just commercial, they were part of people's everyday lives. From morning chai stops to commercial halls to wedding halls and tuition centers. In total, over 205 properties have been marked for acquisition along these trails, with the state releasing 212 crore as compensation for the affected owners and tenants. According to official data, buildings are clearing in places with notice issue, but complaints remain. Residents claim they received very little time or to vacate or had no real voice in the decision-making process. Authorities like HMRL and HMAL say care is being taken to avoid damage to sensitive nearby structures, particularly those of historical importance. But the ground reality paints a more complicated picture. While modern transport is essential for many, this development feels like the price of displacement. At the heart of this controversy is the deeper concern of the unique fabric of old city. Its food, its commons, its architecture is being swept aside too rapidly in the name of progress. The challenge lies in development with dignity, ensuring that people and their heritage aren't left behind. Government initiatives and public response. The GHMC has initiated surveys to identify dilapidated buildings ahead of the monsoon season, aiming to prevent accidents and ensure public safety. However, these demolition drives have met with resistance from local residents who express concerns about displacement and loss of livelihood. Protests have erupted in various areas, highlighting the need for a balanced approach that considers both development and community welfare. Legal and administrative measures. In compliance with the Supreme Court guidelines, GHMC is required to provide a 15-day notice before demolishing illegal structures, allowing for personal hearings and documentation. Additionally, Hydra has been actively involved in removing encroachments and unauthorized constructions, focusing on protecting government assets and public spaces. Balancing development and heritage preservation. The ongoing developments raise questions about preserving the cultural and historical identity of the old city. While infrastructure improvements are necessary, it's crucial to implement strategies that protect heritage sites and support affected communities. Potential measures include adaptive reuse, transforming heritage buildings for modern uses by retaining their historical significance. Community engagement, involving local residents in planning processes to address their concerns and needs. Transparent compensation, ensuring fair and timely compensation for those displaced by development projects. The transformation of Old City Hyderabad reflects the broader challenges of urban development in historic areas. As the city progresses, it's imperative to strike a balance between modernization and the preservation of cultural heritage. By adopting inclusive and thoughtful approaches, Hyderabad can evolve while honoring its rich brass. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. See you next video.